girls, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Rye and this is Rye's Reading Corner, and today we're going over my 10 books that we'll be putting on my These Books Will Self-Destruct in 12 Months list. Again, hello, I'm Rye and this is Rye's Reading Corner. If this is the first time you are seeing my face, if you have not hit the subscribe button, please do so. It's super easy and it really helps my channel grow. As you can tell by my thumbnail and my little introduction, today we're going to be going over a little TBR kind of. I'm going to be creating one of the self-destruct videos today. So this was first I seen it on Becca from Becca in the Books channel, and pretty much what it is you pick a set number of books that you haven't been gravitating towards, but you also don't want to unhaul, and you give yourself 12 months to read those books, and if you do not read those books in 12 months, you get rid of them. So I have a very vast collection of books here. I have YA, I have adult. We're gonna go through with them, and I'm gonna set myself that exactly a year from today when I post this video, if I've not read these books, I am going to unhaul them. So let's get started. So the first book is a book that I've been holding on to because the concept sounds really cool. However, I didn't love the author's first novel that came out, and this is Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Powers. This is a YA, I want to say horror thriller, maybe. I have been holding on to this because I am intrigued by the concept. I've had this on many TBRs and I've never gotten to it, but I'm going to prioritize this. I'm going to add this to my TBR and for my self-destruct, and hopefully I'll get to it, and if not, I'm just going to get rid of it. I've had it now for quite some time, and what I'm going to do to make sure these books stand out is I'm going to designate a spot on my book cart for these 10 books so that I remember which books that I need to do for a video project. The next book is opposite. I loved the debut novel that this author came out with. However, I heard a lot of mixed things about the follow-up novel to this one, and this is why I haven't read it. Plus, it's YA, and I'm not a huge YA reader anymore. Like, I do read YA, but it's not what I tend to gravitate towards anymore. And this is Rise to the Sun by Leah Johnson. This is another sapphic story, and this takes place, I believe, at a music festival, which is not necessarily one of my favorite settings. I'm not a huge music person in books. However, I really would like to read this. Just the ratings overall and people's feedback on this book is that it's not as great as the first one, so I've been putting off, but I would like to read Leah Johnson's other books, so that's why I'm going to add it to this TBR. The next one, we're going to completely be jumping gears and going into an adult book, and this is Shawnee Maguire's Middlegate. I bought this book pretty much when I first started BookTube, which I just celebrated my 2 years in May, and I think I've got it from Kayla because Kayla talks about this a lot, and so I purchased it, and I have not gotten to it yet, and I think my biggest thing is that I'm super intimidated by this book. It's just, the concept seems a little bit different than I read in other books, and it's really, really big. All I know is about some two twins named Roger and Dodger. That's literally all I know, but I do need to prioritize this because I feel like I could potentially really like it. So that's why I'm going to be adding it to this TBR, but if I don't read it, I need to get rid of it because I'll have had it now for 3 years and have not picked it up from my bookshelf. The next one is, again, a switch. It is still adult, but it is historical fiction. I got this in an unplugged book box, and I heard really great things about it. Again, I just haven't gravitated towards it. I didn't want to unhaul it either, and this is The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. I don't know too much about this. I think it's just about this woman who, I believe it takes place in the 40s, and she's able to do code. That's all I got for you. Not much, but I really do like historical fiction. I just don't necessarily gravitate towards it, but once I do, they generally tend to be really high star ratings for me, so I really need to prioritize, I feel like, historical fictions, and so I'm hoping this forces me a little bit to do that. All right, the fifth book that I picked is Deal with the Elf King by Elise Kova. So a fantasy romance. Again, like I said, these books are all over the place. I really, really enjoy fantasy romance, and I love books with fae in it. That's one of my favorite kind of fantasy books and worlds and characters to read about. However, I have not heard the best things about this book, so I've been hesitant for quite some time to add it to my TBRs. I've added it in TBRs and then I've put it off, so I just need to prioritize this one. I feel like it's not very long, so I feel like it won't take me long to read, and it has a lot of buzzwords that I feel like I like in my fantasy romances, so it has potential. It's just I haven't heard the great things, and I try not to let other people's reviews influence me, but if I know it's people who has a similar reading taste to me, then I do tend to listen to them. However, I would like to give it a try before I unhaul it. The next one is an adult romance, and it's sapphic, and it's Read Between the Lines by Rachel Lacey. I literally know nothing about this. I had put it on my wish list. I saw that it was sapphic. It had a book on it, so I like books that talk about bookish things, and it's sapphic, so I was like, sign me up for it. However, once I purchased it, I looked in Goodreads, and the reviews are not great on it, so I've been very hesitant to pick this up, and I've yet to add it to a TBR, and I've had it, I want to say, for almost a year probably, and I feel like I kind of forget about it. So I want to add it to this list to prioritize it so I can focus on it and then decide if it's not for me, and then I will get rid of it. The next one, we're gonna go to an adult thriller. This one I got probably when I again first started BookTube, and it's a very popular, well-loved thriller mystery. I think it's thriller mystery, and this is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. I have not read a Karen Slaughter book yet. I really would like to. I know this book is super hard to read at times because of the content that is in this book. However, I really would like to read it. I'm just really nervous, and I think that's why I've put it off now for so long. But I feel like if I put it on this list and I don't read it, I do need to get rid of it again, because I'll have had this book probably about for 3.5 years and I've not put it up yet. So I feel like that will be an indicator that it's time to move on. Next one is a book of the month book that I didn't get the first time it came out, but at the end of the year, since I'm like a book of the month BFF or whatever they call it, I needed to pick a book that I had not picked that was one of their finalists, and so I picked this one. However, I've heard such mixed things about it that it's not actually really what it's about as it's like portrayed the summary, and it's The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. For one, this cover is absolutely gorgeous. It's just kind of why I've been holding on to it, which I know is not a good reason, but again, the concept of it sounds really intriguing, but everyone says that it doesn't actually match up to what the story is about, and people are quite disappointed on this one. However, I mean, it did, you know, I think people did also really love it, so I would like to give this one a try, add it to this list. If I don't read it, I think it is time to get rid of it. I just don't think I am interested in it if I don't get to it in the next year. The next one is another book of the month, and this was a YA fantasy, and this is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling in Shanghai, I believe. So this was one that I went into when I did my Patreon unhaul challenge that long ago. I'll post the video up above. I had intentions of unhauling this, but some of my friends said they think that I could really like this, so I did hold on to it. I think it could have potential, and actually, oh, I lied. This is not book of the month. I don't know why I thought this book of the month. This is an exclusive edition, and I think that's why I've been keeping on to it. It's not book of the month, and it is signed and everything. So I'm interested in keeping this one. I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I honestly don't have a good reason, but let's prioritize it within the next year. And the last one, this book hurts me to put on because I have no good reason why not to put this on. And I liked the two other ones a lot. I gave them both 5 stars. This book was actually one of my first books that I got off BookTube from my bestie, Michelle, from Michelle's Library. And this is with The Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. I am so sorry, Michelle, that I have not read this yet, but this is a YA contemporary about a single mother, and I want to say a cooking competition. For one thing, this book is literally stunning, absolutely gorgeous, but I don't know why I haven't picked it up, and it makes me nervous now because when I got this, I was reading lots of YA. Actually, my like summary on my bookish content stuff was like a YA mystery thriller reader, and I do not read as much YA as I used to. If I do read YA, it's mostly YA fantasy, so that's why this one makes me nervous, because will I still really like it and enjoy it as much as I had read it maybe 2 years ago. However, I really want to give this a try because I really love Elizabeth Acevedo. Both of her other stories have been 5 stars for me, so I mean, I have no doubt that I'm not going to like it, but I have no doubt that I'm going to like it. I need to prioritize it. So these are 10 books that if I do not read in the next year, I am going to unhaul them. So I'm thinking of maybe doing a vlog series, so let me know out of these 10 books, which ones would you like me to make a video for first, part of my unhaul self-destruct little video project I have going on. Let me know down in the comments below which ones you'd like me to see read first. So if you want to take this crazy and chaotic journey with me, please make sure you press the subscribe button. If you my friend on any of my other social media platforms, I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Also, I am on Goodreads, and I also have my own Patreon, and all the information is linked down below. Stay kind, love. I'll see you next time. Bye.